Boot up Arc Raiders recently, and 5 minutes into solos, catch yourself thinking, wait, did I accidentally click on Rust? That sounds familiar? You're in the right place. Before diving in, if you enjoy breakdowns like this and want more Arc Raiders content on your feed, hit the like button on the video and subscribe so you don't miss the next upload. Solos and Arc Raiders have started to hit the same nerve Rust does. Kind of tension where your heartbeat is louder than the gunfire, and every bush, footstep, and silhouette feels like it's about to end your run. Some lobbies feel chill and cooperative, while others feel like everyone spawned in with the pure, if it moves, it dies energy. So in this video, the goal isn't just to say PvE versus PvP is bad, it's to talk about why solos feel so divided. It genuinely feels like someone dropped a Rust server into Arc Raiders, and why that anxiety somehow makes the game impossible to put down. When you queue solos, you can almost feel two completely different mindsets colliding. There are players who load in, ready to fight anything that twitches. To them, this is a hardcore extraction shooter. The whole point is to outplay the other player, take their stuff, and survive long enough to cash out. If they see you, they're already lining up the shot. Talking, emoting, or trying to be friendly is just a waste of time. In their head, if the game lets you shoot other players, then the other players are enemies, not teammates. Then you've got people who spawn in, thinking about quest, trial progress, and PvE. They see the arc, the story, and the big robots and think, okay, this is a co-op survival run with some spice. Those players are more likely to wave, ping, or try to share a fight because they see the world as hostile, not the lobby. When they get wiped mid-objective by someone who wasn't even going for the same loot, it feels less like part of the game, more like a random punch in the face. The reason Rust is such a good comparison is because that game baked betrayal and paranoia into its DNA years ago. Rust is basically a social experiment. You never really know if that guy you're talking to is your new neighbor or if he's going to be the one that destroys your base. Arc Raider solos has started to feel just like that. You can team up with someone, clear an encounter, revive each other, and in the back of your mind you're still thinking, is this where they shoot me in the back? The rules allow betrayal, the genre rewards it, and the tension of not knowing is what makes the short walk to the extraction feel like a marathon. A lot of the friction comes from how different players value their time. Hardcore players are chasing adrenaline. They want big fights, clutch escapes, and high-risk runs. They either walk out stacked or die in a blaze of glory. Losing gear stings, but it's just fuel for the next run. If they wipe a whole lobby out, that is the rush they've been craving. While casual players are on a clock, they might only have an hour to play, so that one run is a whole gaming window. They're trying to finish quests, move their account forward, and just enjoy some PvE. When they spend most of that time making slow, careful progress, and they get erased 30 seconds before extraction, it doesn't feel like a fun punishment. It feels like a game wasted their night. Underneath all the guns and robots, there's a quiet belief war going on. A lot of PvE learning and casual players genuinely believe everyone can succeed in the same raid. In their mind, if people just chill out, share space, and mind their own business, the whole lobby can extract. Everyone moves their quest forward, and nobody has to lose for someone else to win. That's the live and let live mindset. The more hardcore extraction mindset says the opposite. The run only feels meaningful when there's something real to lose, and someone on the other side of that loss. If everyone walks out happy every game, the tension dies. For those players, the possibility that their progress can be ripped away in seconds is exactly what makes the success so powerful. The wild part is how often cooperation slowly rots into PvP. Early on, people are learning the map, figuring out builds, and chasing easy progress. Cooperation is common because everyone is undergeared and scared of the arc. But once players get comfortable, clear their early goals, and stack some gear, PvE stops feeling threatening. That's when boredom creeps in. And boredom in extraction shooters almost always turns into hunting. Players start roaming just looking for action. Someone who used to be the wave and move on type starts cutting off extractions, camping routes, or third-partying fights. Not because they suddenly became toxic, but because the only thing that still spikes the dopamine is other players. One of the reasons Arc Raiders in particular hits so hard is how it layers atmosphere on top of that risk. The sound design, the distant machines, The way footsteps and gunshots cut through the ambience, all of that feeds into the feeling that something is always just out of sight. Every time the bag has epic or legendary loot and the extraction timer starts to matter, the game turns into this pressure cooker where one bad decision can erase 20 minutes of work. It's the same emotional rush described in Tarkov, Hunt, Marathon, or Rust. Long stretches of looting and positioning followed by a few seconds that decide whether you're rich or resting with nothing. There's something almost cruel about how good these games are at weaponizing anxiety. Running back to base in Rust or sprinting to the extraction in Arc Raiders with a backpack full of loot feels awful in the moment. Your brain is convinced someone is watching, someone heard you, someone is about to cut you off. When that nightmare comes true and you do get dropped right before safety, it feels terrible. It's frustrating, it's demoralizing, and sometimes you just alt F4 and you stare at that monitor. But when you don't die, when you outplay the ambush, slide into the extraction, and watch all that loot actually hit your stash, that high is ridiculous. That one successful run pays for those 5 disasters. The relief, the pride, the I actually pulled that off feeling is exactly why these games are so addictive, and why even after a brutal death, there's always that voice in the back of your head saying, one more raid. Part of you can hate what solos have turned into and still love it at the same time. The Rust mindset, never fully trust anyone, always assume the worst, treating every encounter as a life or death, makes Arc Raider solos more stressful, more frustrating, and more unfair. But it also makes every safe extraction feel like a tiny miracle. That tension is the hook. Now the real question is, where do you land in all this? Are you the live and let live co-op player, the if it moves it dies mindset, or the conflicted middle ground that loves the anxiety as much as you hate it? Drop it in the comments. As for me, I love the rush that these 2 games give me. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to keep up with content just like this.